Hi there, this is me from the future. Editing this video took quite a lot of time. It didn't come out exactly how I wanted it, but I wanted to share my work anyway. I plan to try and revise this in the future, but for now, this is what you got. So I hope you enjoy. Some of these clips I've copied from Uncle Dane's video, Meet the Dispenser. Also, the third part of the video, or maybe even just the whole video, can be a little bit back and forth on the topics. I repeat myself a lot. I'm sorry, that's a personal habit that I'm trying to get rid of, but it's in the video anyway. So, at least in the third part, you will see me going from sentry placement, then I go, oh, I need to talk about dispensers, then I say, oh, let's go back to sentry placement. It's annoying, but just deal with it, if you will, please. Again, some of these extra videos are credited from Uncle Dane's videos, so if you would kindly go check him out before going to me and be like, oh, you stole all this content. I'm just trying to use it for a reference. Please, I don't want credit for that. He made those videos, go check him out. I leave a link for his channel in the description and the video I got it from. Now onwards to the video.
Get going! Go, go, go! I'm ready! You're all right, Doc.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Alright, so here's the deal. This is the full placement that I would recommend with Engineer on MvM Mannworks. So this, if you just don't really want to waste time, the green are dispensers, the red are sentries, and the blue are teleporters. So if you need the full thing, this is where it is. Now let's move on. First things first, you're in the front line. This is where the robots are just coming in, and the tanks are just coming in, and your whole team's in the front. So, the blue or purple is teleporters. Remember that. The green are dispensers, and the sentries are the red ones. My personal take is that your dispenser should be upgraded first, all the way. Max dispenser range, because the biggest thing is, like Uncle Dane said.
And then the third thing that these dispenser spots have in common is simple. They are for the team, not just you. It's important to realize that just like the teleporter, the dispenser is a heavily team-based building. It's designed to help your team.
And I believe in that. And take a look at this. This will depend more on where your team is supporting. This is how things are going to work and how different waves are going to work with it. Really good teleporter exits are the ones that they can access. If you can get people to know that they can go back in a teleporter, they'll do that.
Help! Get going! Somebody want to wrestle up a teleporter right here?
The most difficult ones are this one down here, which is in that small tunnel. And this one over here, which is in the staircase. They're out of the sight. No one really knows where they are. So if you want to make people take back in your teleporter and save time in case there's bombs there, make it visible. This is a really good one to have if you have a dispenser here, because if you go right into the center, that maximum dispenser range, you should get immediate health.
Sentry got the head
It also helps for people to backtrack. Now you want to make sure that this green dot or dispenser is far enough back in the wall so that rockets don't shoot it or blast it with splash damage.
Yeah.
You also want to make sure that this sentry is on the top half of the field right here. Reason why I do this stuff is because if my sentry is above me and I need to grab it while it's shooting all the robots going back and forth, I don't know where it's going to fire, and I'll die from its rockets and gunfire before I can get to it. So if I put it at a higher incline, I don't get shot, and I can pick it up whenever. This is a really good spot because you can get it from down here, you can get it from the side, you can rescue ranger it from over here. Overall, really good spot, and it does a ton of damage in an overall spread. Now the dispenser placement. Talked about this one being this side. In case your team is overly here, that's where you want this teleporter to be, right next to near that dispenser, but not close enough, because if you have a soldier attacking your team, they're going to be around here and less likely around here. If you put your teleporter beside that, it'll also get destroyed, ruining your chances of getting down there fast.
In fact, placing your dispenser near your other buildings is not a great idea when it comes to both your sentry gun and your teleporter. Not only for the reason that I mentioned in my video about teleporter etiquette, where spies can easily telefrag innocent dispenser customers, but it's also because buildings that are clumped together die together. It's no secret by now that putting sentry guns next to each other is a recipe for disaster, but the same thing applies to your own sentry gun and dispenser.
We have these two up here, which are near the health pack but far enough away that you can get it without getting there in time. So this would be commonly used for heavies who like to sit on top of the wood, rocket jumping soldiers who like to hide behind it.
Moving out.
These two spots are really good. This would be a turtling spot, but I highly recommend not doing turtling in MvM, purely because it helps out. Even if you could just do like a pistol, that's a little bit of damage more. And just a little bit of damage can save you, kind of like this.
Moving out. Sentry going up. Heavies are gone.
Get to an upgrade station.
Yeah, if I just did that a little bit more damage instead of focusing on turtling, I would have been able to destroy it. Case in point, your dispenser needs to try to be more with the team rather with you. Turtling is not the best thing to happen.
The sentry gun is usually best behind the front line of the team so that it can easily punish overextending enemies and be a reliable option for extra damage if your teammates need to fall back. But a dispenser is the bravest building you own. It needs to be the furthest forward of the three. It needs to be with your team.
Another good teleporter spot is right here. Robots rarely come up here, so you can easily get out. If you're low on ammo, you can grab this, and you have a shield right here to defend yourself against fire. So you can also put down a sentry just to help them out, but you don't want it to be too close on the same line as a teleporter, because if you got rapid fire demo man, they're going to shoot pipes and it's just going to blow the teleporter up because the pipes will go to the wall. This dispenser spot is also like a turtling spot, but actually it goes right here into the middle. So your heavies and everything else can go right here to hide and get some health. If you need ammo to fix your sentry, you can just hop down and then jump up and swing at it. If you don't like that spot and it's too close, then you should put it over here. That way your team can shoot off to the side and hide behind the rocks in case the fire is coming in this way. Now let's talk about the second half. This is when you're being pushed back. This is the placement that I use as an engineer here. Remember, green is dispensers, red is sentries, blue or purple is teleporters. So, right now, the robots have taken over this half. Alright? This is where your team is now going to be located, the middle grounds. So, you want to have roughly the same teleporter stuff, but you don't want it over here. Reason being is that they have that area. You put a teleporter there, people come out of it, and they get blasted by the incoming robots. Instead, you need to keep the teleporter down here. A little risky, because sometimes they go in that tunnel, sometimes they don't. You could also keep a teleporter in the middle with all the health packs and ammo. But keep in mind, spies love to come in there, because your team will go in there for the health anyway. And keep a teleporter over here. Remember, they don't really come up this way very often. You have a wall, a shield. If they need health, it's right over here. If they need ammo, it's right over here. It's overall a really good teleporter exit. Now talking about dispensers. You need to keep it with your team. So this spot will be if you just barely push back in this area. Right here. You're getting shot at and everything else. I forgot to put the two. There's one, you could put one dispenser here or one dispenser here, depending. This will protect more fire. This will help them out a little closer. I didn't put them there. Apologies. But this one is also really good to hide against, but you want to make sure it's closer to the stairs so it doesn't get hit from incoming fire. Here's another good dispenser spot in case you push back to here, because this is a really overall good way to hide your team. This one's good, so they can shoot this way, that way, and hide behind the boxes and get your dispenser armor. This one should be here if you're facing more this way. This one should be here if you're facing more that way. You can put a dispenser up here with your sentry behind it so that your team can go up there. But remember, since you have your sentry behind you, it's not very safe. So, if that one is too dangerous for you, you can put it right behind the sentry. Again, it's a turtling spot, but don't turtle. You don't want a dispenser here. There's an ammo pack there already, and it already gets incoming fire from all spaces. Bad spot overall. But this is alright because they can go in here, and if they absolutely need to, they can have dispenser armor, but this will still block most of the fire. Another good spot for a sentry for the middle ground would be right here. This will help fight off these two lines. You may want to move it in case a tank is coming through to a different spot, but you want this one to be as forward as possible, because if you put it back here and you have to go through there, you're going to get shot by your sentry. But if it's ahead, not only will it reach more targets faster, or protect your team from incoming rockets, but you can move past here much easier. And the last sentry spot that I have would be right here. It looks like it's in the last ground, but it's very good for the middle ground because you can get all these sides, right, with anybody incoming. And if you're having trouble keeping it up, walk right over here to a full health pack and a half ammo. Now let's talk about the last line. This is when the robots are about to deploy the bomb and you're overrun. But I still recommend that the teleporters, remember, teleporters are blue or purple, sentries are red, dispensers are green. I would put a teleporter exit here, or here, or here again. But these will allow you, if you finally push back enough robots, to immediately get to the middle ground. These spaces, if you look at, are out of the way, but visible and accessible. Now let's talk about sentry placement. Down in here, this is going to be a very tough spot to defend, but you want to put your sentry a little bit above, like right beside boxes, but not right beside the boxes. Now, you can keep a dispenser here. This will help them fight this fire, and maybe some incoming fire here. You can put a dispenser behind the fence post, which will keep them defended against things like this, and maybe this. If you have one here, that'll be good for that area. Not this area, this one will make it be blown up, but at least here they'll have a little bit more defense. You will also have dispensers close to where the bomb is going to be dropped. I'd put one here near the staircase so that they can get health about here, and I'd put one right here in case they need to hop up and avoid fire for a minute. It might be out of the way, but this will get them killed, and this is too far away to get to. Now, talking about sentry placement. This is important. See this little area here? This above area that you can get in the staircase? Yeah, no, that's only for mobility. Never use it for buildings. It might work to an extent, but that extent is very minimal. The only time I can see this working is if you have a sentry right here to help defend the bomb and incoming traffic this way, because over here it can't really get anything in this area, and that'll cause a lot of issues. What you want to do is keep your sentries a little bit out of the way, but forward. I recommend this spot again, since they're coming here. It'll help defend the middle ground, but if it needs to, it can get anything over here. I would also put a sentry right on this little ledge so that I can get both sides and defend it. Hi there, Erich from the future here. Just wanted to let you know that this spot is very hard to keep that sentry up if you're getting a lot of fire. I would recommend keeping your dispenser where I said, like behind the gate by the bomb or behind that little stone brick. Just in case. I know I'm talking about dispensers being for your team, but case in point here, you need to keep that sentry up as well. There's priorities with buildings, and sometimes you need a little bit more damage. Thanks for understanding. Back to the video. I also recommend putting a sentry here. It's a little more risky because the robots come out this way, but it should work for you. And last but not least, I'd put a sentry right at the bomb spot if you're really that bad, or put one over here to help out in background. This is the last ditch effort. This is the I have to put a sentry down before I die, so at least I'll have accurate firing. I wouldn't recommend putting it here for a lot of other reasons, but the biggest thing is that it's right by the bomb, everything's gonna hit it, and no, sadly you can't put anything on the boxes right here. I've tried. Hi, Erich from the future here. I hope you enjoyed this video. Again, it took a bit of time to make and edit. This is my first real big editing project. It took about 3 days with doing work and everything else. So if you enjoyed that, give me a comment down below. Tell me how I did, what you thought of the video. Like, subscribe, you know all that extra business. But thanks so much for watching.